There is a dream in a place which is just beyond the skyline, a quiet dream rich in history and culture. This dream is unfolding within a community where family and children are valued highly, a community where giving back is as important as belonging. The place is known as Laguna Pueblo, Cabero, Acoma Pueblo, and Saboyeta, New Mexico. These Native American and Hispanic communities have a unique culture, a culture molded out of years of living side by side. Separated only by imaginary boundaries, they all have common ground, the classroom. No matter who you speak to out here, one thing always stands out: the importance of living as a community and the value of a good education. I plan on moving away for a while, just to get my basic education and stuff. And I plan on establishing a job, and then I plan on moving back and having a family over here. I really would like to raise a family over here. It's really, quiet. There's not all the violence that you have in the bigger cities like Albuquerque and Las Cruces, Roswell, etc. But, it's my family's been here for many years.
Understanding the importance of so many schools back east, big schools in New York City, places like that, are all trying to become more community-oriented and become smaller schools. And I've always thought that we have something really special out here because we're already smaller. And we have a lot of culture in our communities, not only in the land grant, but also in our neighboring reservation communities. And the two, I think it's kind of it's been hard a lot of times. Maybe the communities don't work as close together as they should. But in my experience of working with the sixth graders at the Saboyeta Elementary School, if at a young age you get them learning about each other, the Indians and the Spanish learning about each other and about themselves, they start to appreciate themselves and each other. And I think that it would just make a big difference in the way that we interact with other people and in the way that people interact with us.
With education playing a strong role in these communities, they must begin to evaluate and assess the current facilities. Do these facilities meet the needs of the community? Do they meet regulations, codes, and requirements? Does the curriculum reflect those attending the school and the surrounding communities? What is happening with the youth today? Do they have enough to do? Does the school offer them and their communities enough?
I think that the biggest problem today with the kids are they have too much free time. There's nothing to, especially around here, our community doesn't provide us with things to do during summer, and usually that's when problems start, and that leads to the bigger problems of drugs and alcohol. And with kids trying to fill up their free time, they go and do that instead of doing something productive like having a sports league or something around here.
Before, I think kids were happy with what they had, and now kids want technology and more. They want to be modern, and I just think they want, to be somewhat what Albuquerque is, what the students have there. And I think students now, they don't appreciate what they have as much as the older students did.
If right now we were in the new facility, I think it will help mostly me and her, because when this school compared to all the other schools, it's the education here isn't up to date with schools say in Albuquerque. The technology isn't up to date, and that's difficult when you have to go away to college and compete against all these other schools, and you're not on the same level that they are.
Knowing that the current facility does not meet the needs of the communities, one must ask the question, what is in store for the education of our children? This is a question that has existed in these communities for some time, a question that both adults and children can relate with and have an answer for.
We're wanting to see their children go to a quality school so they could prepare for the 21st century. So with that idea, I think many people were wanting to see a new school facility, particularly to change the one that hadn't been affected. The Laguna Acoma High School had not received any major changes to its structure in the last, since it was built in 1963. So seeing a new school, I think with that in mind, the expectations for quality education would definitely come from the community. Things like school to work type of programs, technology, and a curriculum that would prepare their children for the challenges of the 21st century.
One of the things that's real critical in education nowadays is that schools have to be built from within communities, and they have to serve the needs of your communities and the people that they serve. For years, schools have always been built from the top down, from people with educational backgrounds, and they come into communities and they put together a program that really doesn't meet the needs of these communities. What's unique here, what we're trying to accomplish, is that we're trying to start from the bottom up and involve all the different fashions within the Cebolleta, Cubero, Laguna, and Acoma communities, where we're assessing everyone that's involved in the process.
Well, I think Laguna as a community, and I think it's kind of a general philosophy of small communities that you have to use all the resources that you have available because there aren't that many resources. And a school almost immediately becomes the biggest resource that is available to any community. Whether you're looking at something as simplistic as just holding athletic events, or if you're looking at it from a tribal government side and they need a place to meet.
Something that we are looking forward to is for children in our community to be able to access a curriculum that is relevant, that is appropriate, that prepares them adequately. To me, a good education would be one which offers students options. Options that where if they want to go to college, then they should have that option. If they want to go to technical training, that's fine. If they are going to be parents and raise children, they still need that education because they still need to be able to support their children as they go through the process of schooling. There seems always to be resources for more urban areas, and I think sometimes we forget about the rural and reservation communities. Surely we can probably do it, or maybe it might end up being a step here at a time, maybe another step, but it needs to be a more integrated, a more comprehensive effort that includes all the different communities, the Indian tribes, the Hispanic communities, the resources that hopefully, such as Annenberg Foundation, I think would help us to develop that effort in a more consistent way and to bring all those parties together.
Do we dare to dream? Certainly our lives require taking that step. A leap of faith. In the end, we only hope. Hope that someone will be there to catch the essence of our dream. But fulfilling the dream requires a promise to be a light for that dreamer.
Melting heart and soul.